Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is October 14th, 2025. And the hopeful candidate, Victor Font, has hit back at John Laporta. Also, Dortmund interested in one of Barcelona's promising academy players. And finally, the sporting director for Monaco speaking out about Ansu Fati's future. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. We'll begin this video with the news that Victor Font has once again attacked John Laporta. Now, if you don't know by now who Victor Font is, he's a presidential candidate. Well, not yet since the elections haven't begun, but he ran against Laporta in the last elections. He lost, and of course, it looks like he wants to be running against Laporta once again. And he once again has hit back at John Laporta and his management of FC Barcelona with the following statements. Where first, Victor Font complained about the social shift under Jean Laporta, saying the following: "This is yet another symptom of the shift away from the social model that the club has unfortunately promoted. We are distancing ourselves from our members and putting tourists first. This is a result of inefficient management, a lack of transparency, and deception." Here, Victor Font complained, of course, about the skyrocketing prices of tickets, match tickets, where they have gone up by more than 30%. And this, of course, has led to many socios, many club members who used to go to matches who can no longer afford to stop going. And as a result, the stadium has now been filled with mostly tourists. And then alongside, of course, the closure of the supporter section, you can see the difference, right? The stadium sounds like a library, like a graveyard, rather than an actual stadium. Now, Victor Font continued, and this time talking about the accounting losses, or the money that Barcelona lost, stating the following: "Last year's closing figures showed losses of 90 million euros. We asked for a reformulation because there were overvaluated assets, but we were ignored. This year's accounts hide a further 80 million euros in losses that are being reformulated in last year's accounts, and this has not been disclosed. The assembly is not aware of it. There is a lack of transparency." So Victor Font saying, or accusing Laporta and his board of manipulating the numbers to make it seem like the club is doing well financially, when in reality, it's losing a lot of money. And of course, we know that this is true. For example, this year, Laporta and his board announced that Barcelona had made 2 million euros in profits, but in reality, they had failed to, or purposely failed to account for the taxes that the club has to pay. Because once you take into account the taxes that you have to pay, the club actually lost 17 million euros. They didn't make 2 million, they lost 17 million euros. Right? And this is, for those people who are always asking me, "Mo, we're signing all these sponsorships. How is it that we're still not under the 1-to-1? Well, it's pretty simple. The club continues to spend more than it brings in. So that, of course, causes losses. And, well, when you spend more than you bring in, that's the definition, the financial definition of being broke. This is why we're not under the 1-to-1 rule. Now, as far as last year, as the accounts being 90 million euros in losses, not in profits, like Laporta and the board explained, actually, Victor Font did hire an accounting firm that went through the numbers, and he proved that indeed Barcelona had lost 90 million, not made 5 million. I made a video about that. It's on the channel if you want to see it. But even if you don't want to believe Victor Font and his accounting firm that he hired, this is why UEFA fined Barcelona 60 million euros, right? Because unlike Barcelona fans who just dismiss this kind of criticism like, you're just a Laporta hater, you're anti-Laporta, UEFA actually has accountants, forensic accountants that went through all the paperwork that Barcelona submitted, and they were like, wait a minute, you're fudging with the numbers here. You're lying. You did not make all this money. And that's why they fined Barcelona 60 million, right? Now, Laporta was able to negotiate down to 15 million, but that just goes to show that Laporta and his board do continue to deceive the socios through the manipulation of the numbers to make it seem like the club is doing much better than it actually is, because in reality, Barcelona continue to spend more than they bring in, which means by definition, we continue to be broke. Now, Victor Font also complained about what's going on with the stadium, and this is what he said: "We were told that it would act quickly and with a smaller budget, but that is not the case. Another deception. On Sunday, John Laporta will have to explain why Limac was selected despite internal reports advising against it, as explained on Monday by the SER radio station." Now, this, of course, is a story that I brought to you during yesterday's podcast, that it's been revealed that when the different construction companies submitted bids to Barcelona to rebuild the stadium or renovate the stadium. The technical experts that Barcelona had hired, they told Barcelona, don't hire Limac. Their report is full of crap. They're not going to finish on time like they're saying they will. And Joan Laporta completely ignored him. He still hired him. Lo and behold, we're over a year in delays. And of course, now we find out that Barcelona has had to hire other construction companies to do work that Limac is behind on or that doesn't know how to do. So this, of course, costing Barcelona a lot of money. Now, I brought you this story, and of course, as expected, many people were like, Mo, you're just anti-Laporta. Well, I guess those experts that Laporta hired himself were also anti-Laporta because they're the ones who said that the report from Limac was full of crap. But unfortunately, that's the day and age we live in, right? If you don't like something, instead of trying to open your eyes, investigate a little bit, reason, right? Like a little kid that doesn't want to hear what he's being told. You're anti-Laporta, you're a hater, just dismiss it. Everything's good, bury my head in the sand. And finally, Victor Font expressed that he had full trust in Hansi Flick. However, it does worry him whether Flick, could end up leaving because of the mismanagement of the club by Joan Laporta. And this is what the candidate had to say. I have 100% confidence in Flick. Losing 2 games happened last year. What worries us is how poor management directly impacts the sporting project. Flick must be amazed. First, poor management on the tour. He doesn't know where he will play. He started without having his squad registered. They gave away Íñigo, who was a pillar. We are concerned that poor management will impact the sporting project and that it will impact such an important asset. And of course, we do know that Flick was very, very upset about the whole preseason shenanigans. We are flying, we're not flying, we're flying in the morning, no afternoon, no at night, no the next day. He's very upset about Íñigo leaving. So to that, again, he does have a point. And no, it's not because, I'm a Victor Font supporter. Victor Font pays me. These are legit points. Whether it's Victor Font saying them, whether it's my grandma saying them. These are legit points that we need to take into consideration. And no, that does not make me a hater. That makes me, an FC Barcelona supporter who wants my club to do the best and to be under the best hands. This doesn't mean I'm going to bury my head in the sand because the truth is too uncomfortable. And, the lies are much more nicer. They make you feel warmer, right? Anyways, on to the next bit of news because Javier Tebas has defended UEFA's approval of his plans to have the Barcelona versus Villarreal match played in Miami, Florida on December 20th, stating the following. Once a year, it seems to us like a way to promote the competition. And in addition, it is a way of having respect for the fans that we have all over the world. What needs to be done is to regulate it. 1 game per league, and that way no one would have any problems. And it would help all the competition we're facing from all the American leagues. For me, Europe is an amazing continent. We're full of American fast food. We don't have a single European technology company. And we have something good, which is football. And we say, let's not play a game that breaks with tradition. No, this is a promoting tradition. We have brought the language, universities, culture, architecture, and bullfighting. And now it seems that they are going to take something away from us. So he started out strong. He's talking about, hey, we have something good going on in the continent. It's football. It is the best continent as far as football, so let's promote it. And then it took a weird turn with architecture and bullfighting and fast food. And anyways, you get the point. Javier Tebas, of course, insisting that this is a good move in order to promote the sport in other parts of the world, which, again, I'm not against. Yes, you can promote the sport, but does it have to be midway through the season? Isn't that what summer preseason tours are for? I don't know. Anyways, on to the next bit of news because Dortmund are very interested in one of Barcelona's promising players in the academy, who is no other than Guille Fernandez, the 17-year-old midfielder, the cousin of Toni Fernandez, who, of course, was called up to the first team during the preseason. He traveled to the preseason tour. He was part of the opening match for Barcelona, but since then, he was sent back to Barca Athletic, where I think he played 2 matches, if I remember correctly. Then, of course, he did suffer that ankle sprain, which has sidelined him until today. Now, Guille, of course, did have plenty of offers during the summer from other European clubs, but he decided to reject all of them and stay in Barcelona to try to fight his way to the first team, where unfortunately he has yet to get any minutes. And now it seems that Dortmund are very interested in him, and they're trying to convince the player to make the move to the Bundesliga club. Now, let's end today's video with the news of Ansu Fati, who's doing absolutely phenomenal in Ligue 1, where so far he has scored 6 goals in 5 appearances. And this, of course, has created a lot of hype around him, including Monaco fans and press trying to figure out, hey, is this someone that Monaco will be signing? Because, of course, Ansu Fati is currently on loan. Monaco do have an option to sign the player for 11 million euros. And the sporting director, this is what the sporting director had to say. And, of course, when I say sporting director, I mean Monaco's sporting director. The key is to continue giving Ansu the conditions so he can get playing time and be an important and consistent player for Monaco. Business isn't important right now. When the time is right, we'll make a decision. Monaco is protected in this situation by the agreement we have with the player and Barca. The goal is performance and keeping him on the pitch. So in other words, hold your horses. Let's see how it goes. He's going to continue playing, continue getting minutes. In other words, if he continues to perform, then yes, there is a possibility of signing him. And of course, my question to you is, if Ansu Fati continues to perform, would you rather see Barcelona sell him to Monaco, or would you rather Barcelona bring him back? Honestly, for me, if Ansu Fati continues, and again, we have to watch the whole season, not just now, because he also had a decent start when he was at Brighton, but unfortunately, injuries caught up to him, and then he ended up coming back. But if he continues to do great throughout the whole season, I'm all for bringing him back. After all, he is our player, right? If we need a left winger, well, if he's killing it, why not? He's not going to cost you anything. But anyways, I want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions, so let me know down below in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.